Hey guys, welcome back to a new track guide set up on Hotlap video for the Silverstone circuit. So starting the lap then, you want a good exit out of the chicane, generally in 4th, 5th gear by the time you get to the start-finish straight. Down into turn 1 then, we're going to be taking this completely flat out this year, and pretty much every other year as well. Turning in point is just around where the 50-metre board is. Use as much of the track on the left-hand side as you can to be all over this curve on the left-hand side. Now we're going to throw it in, looking for an early apex, early mid apex. You want to use all of the curb. You can go over the curb without invalidating, but again, if you take too much of it, you will invalidate. So flat out there, flat out all the way through this left hander, keep it all the way to the left hand side, and then braking into turn 3. Then I'll be braking somewhere between the 100 and the 50-metre board. So about 75 metres out is pretty much bang on. Sometimes there's a reference on the track itself, a little like darker patch. I tend to brake as soon as my nose hits that, but just before you hit the 50-metre board is a good braking point for there. I want to throw the car in here. We're not braking all the way to the apex, we're braking in a straight line, and then whatever we got left, we throw it into the corner. I use 3rd gear to help with the rotation, and again keep it all the way to get the car back over to the right hand side as early as possible. Down to 2nd gear for the rotation into left-hander to line yourself up for as straight as exit as you can as well, because you've got the straight coming up here. So picking up the DRS then, down into the long left-hander and right-hander. Looking out for the 50-metre board here. Again, be all over the curb on the right-hand side, and we're looking for a late apex here, really late apex. So throw the car in 5th, 4th. Trail braking all the way around, get that late apex, and bring it just over to the left hand side a little bit, and then throw the car in 3rd and 4th gear then for the exit. Get as straight to the exit as you possibly can. Got the pad quite early out of that corner as well. Using the curb on the right hand side here, and then on the left hand side, don't get onto the curb too early. I tend to get on just around the 100-metre board, because you want to be taking this corner completely flat out this year in 8th gear. Turn in point, 50-metre board, seems to always work for me. That's where I'm turning in, and want to get all of this curb as much as you can to help get the car around the corner. The exit, use as much of this as you possibly can, and then Agates Beckett's sector then, or section, all the way to the right hand side, going completely flat out for the first 2 parts, for the left and the right, and then I downshift to 6th for the left hander here. Again, taking as much curb as you can, mid apex, and then here you really want to throw the car in. I throw it in 5th gear and then short shift to 6th as I'm rotating. Use as much of this inside curb as you can get away with to line yourself up as straight as possible for the back straight. Then picking up the DRS, now line ourselves up nicely into the last part of the lap then. Braking point for here, just after the 50-metre board. As soon as the car goes fully past it, you want to be braking down into 6th gear. And you've got to be careful for the exit of here. You want to carry a lot of speed in, and you want to get on the power nice and early, but the exit comes up quickly as well. So mid apex here, as soon as you see these red parts of the apex there, on full power. Use as much of this as you can get away with, because you need to be able to carry that momentum out of the corner. Now into the final part of the track then, one of the most difficult parts to get right, I find. 100-metre board, anywhere between that and the start of the apex there on the right, start of the curb there on the right hand side. We want to be braking in a straight line down into 3rd gear, and then as you're touching this apex, short shift to 4th to line yourself up nicely. You don't want to be touching this sausage curb on the right, it will ruin your lap, it will ruin your run. You just sort of want to be as close to it as you can get away with in 4th gear, and then you are just managing the throttle and then pretty much full throttle. Last part is pretty easy this year. Try and hit that curb on the right hand side there, but it's not overly important if you don't. Well, that's a lap of Silverstone. I hope you managed to pick up something from this. In the hot laps, I did tend to struggle getting a lap together, but I'll show you the lap I managed to pull off now. You'll see there's quite a lot of time to find there. So yeah, get at it, guys. Okay, then let's get into the setup. So wings 24-22, fairly balanced here. On the lower side though, because you want as much straight line speed as possible, but you also want to be carrying as much speed around the corners as possible. So 24-22 on the wings, 50-50 on the on and off throttle differential. Camber, just the top one all the way to the right, the rest to the left. Suspension, very stiff on the front again. 15 on the rear suspension. 8-1 on the anti-roll bars, 32-34 on the ride heights. Brakes 100% brake pressure, 55% brake bias. That's where I prefer it, and that's where I leave it to. During the race, I leave it at 55 as well. Tyre pressures. In a race situation, you're looking at 22.4 on the fronts and 20.2 on